With the NBA regular season winding down, the race for the most valuable player award is now down, appears to be down to two men, James Harden of the Houston Rockets and Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Milwaukee Bucks. So, who will win the MVP trophy? Well, let's find out from our analysts today, Coach Allan Caidic and Coach Topex Robinson. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Welcome back to The Score. Mahirap na tanong to. That's why we got the best minds to answer this question. So, Coach Allan, I'll start with you. Feeling ko mahula ako sinong choice mo dahil sa suot mo eh. Red na red eh. Red na red. Your choice for NBA MVP, Coach Allan. Who is it?
Well, I'll choose James Harden. Although both nga can win it kasi they're playing superb basketball this season, both of them. But stats don't lie eh. I based it on stats alone. Si Harden kasi, he's the first player in the history sa NBA to score 30 points against the all 29 teams in one season. Mahirap yon. Then second, yung 32-game streak niya with 30 points or more is the second all-time now kay Will Chamberlain, di ba? So doon lang makikita mo na yung consistency ni Harden is averaging 36 points a game compared to his 30 points a game last year na siya ang MVP. So another thing na very evident dito is yung 50 points or more games niya, na at least 9 times. Twice doon is 61 points na career high niya. Idagdag mo pa doon yung 50 points na triple-double. 5 times na niyang ginagawa yon. So talagang hindi mahirap gawin yon, I'll tell you. Kaya
Hindi madaling gawin.
hindi madaling gawin. I'm sorry. Hindi madaling
Unless
gawin.
Allan Caidic ka,
No.
madaling gawin yun. Kaya.
Nakakabilib kasi dahil he finds a way to do it and to deliver. So yun ang pinagbasihan ko kung bakit I consider him na siya mag-MVP.
The numbers are just absolutely mind-blowing. And wala na, hindi na alam ng mga teams paano babantayan si James Harden. So we'll see in the playoffs kung how that will change or if Harden will have another level pa na maabot. Okay, so for Coach Allan Caidic, the trigger man, his pick for MVP is James Harden. Coach Topex, who is your pick for MVP?
Again, absolutely with what Coach Allan mentioned, stats, hands down, it's gonna be James Harden. But again, it's gonna boil down to your definition of an MVP. I mean, it's gonna boil down on yung value talaga ng player sa team. For me, Giannis, the reason why, it's because, I mean, his numbers are not really as impressive as James, but yung impact kasi sa team na nabibigay niya, the value that he has put in. From where he was 5 years ago or 4 years ago to where he is now, I mean, it's really of, bibigyan mo talaga ng credit. And the thing with Giannis right now is the teams know that he's gonna be the focal point of the offense. But smart enough, he also knows na kung sa akin lahat, how can I help the team? So he's being unselfish. When he gets doubled, he knows where to kick the ball to. I mean, he really makes it hard for the teams to really scout him. Na pag binitawan niyo naman ako, you know what I could do. And again, Giannis could guard anybody from 1 to 5, no doubt. I mean, he could really, there's so much room for him to really improve on. And I think giving him the MVP right now is really just a testament of how he has really developed into a player that he is right.
So it's a testament also to his maturity.
Again, he's been through a lot of struggles. I mean, as much as favored ang West as far as the teams there are, but also you have to consider ang East din naman has also a lot of competition. And for him to really stood tall, to bring his team to that level right now where they are is really a testament of how valuable he is. Not just on the Milwaukee side, but also in the whole of the NBA.
Yeah, so you look at the East, the Bucks, marami tao hindi pa kasanay na yung Bucks na dun sa ibabaw. For a lot of these millennial fans, they are not used to this. The way the Bucks have dominated the East, and that was a factor in you choosing Giannis.
Yeah, they've mentioned that the best Buck that ever was Kareem. After that, there's been decades of nobody even. I mean, you don't really see a Milwaukee uniform, a jersey being worn outside. Kumbaga, yung purist lang.
Wala nga sa ating tatlo nakanood na boxy Karim. Ano lang, sa clips na lang, pictures na lang.
Yeah, so that's just, dun niya talaga. I mean, he's really bringing this team to a different level.
But, okay, so for Coach Allan, it's Harden. For Coach Topex, it's Giannis. Pero when you talk to your friends, mga kapwa legends, kapwa coaches, is there some sort of consensus or hati ba talaga ang public vote to these two players, Coach Allan?
Well, hindi mo naman, well, definitely yes, hati talaga. Pero hindi, tulad nga ng sabi ni Topex, hindi lang naman purely stats yan. Binase ko yung decision ko sa stats alone. Pero if you look at it, may votation yan at saka yung impact, na overall impact. So, possible yan. Anyone can, deserving to win the MVP para sa akin.
Yeah, I think it's really, just like what Coach Allan mentioned. Kasi, if you're just a fan looking at it on a different set of glasses, Harden is. I mean, we mentioned, you threw in every defense that you could throw in at him. 29 teams. Kumbaga wala ka ng ibang makikitang different but he still was solid. But again, if you're gonna ask me, who will you build your team around? I would again go with Giannis.
If we're talking of stats, just to give you a background dun kay Giannis, he was named Eastern Conference Player of the Month for 4 months yon, October, November, December, and February. So, may panlaban din, kahit na paano. Although yung stats niya sa points is medyo malaki ang difference compared kay but 27 points and leading Milwaukee to the first place sa Eastern, iba yon, iba rin yon.
Yeah, these two guys are changing the game
correct.
As we speak.
Yes.
I mean, changing the way it's played, changing the way it's officiated, changing defenses. It's just grabe. I think a lot of people probably agree with Coach Allan. Either one is so deserving, no?
Again, Giannis, I always mention, I mean, he could guard anybody. He could bet any position at any given time. Just like when bigs now are shooting threes, he could bring down the ball. He could guard the big, he could guard the guard, and he's gonna give you problems across the board.
Grabe yung maturity niya. From his rookie year, 2013, 6 points a game, now to 27 points a game. See that? So talagang nakaka-impress din yung performance niya this year.
Yeah, but what is truly impressing is yung 79 points in a game. Itong dalawang to.
Na-segue mo pa yun?
Wala pa. Yan yung kailangan nilang magawa. 79 points. Ilan 3 points ang pagkala? Ilan 3 points?
Harden and Giannis tayo.
Yun ang araw ko. Yun ang batayan ko. Kailangan pag 79 points, parang Allan Caidic.
Kaya idol talaga kita
Yun ang importante. Alright, so that was a great, it's not really a debate because I think we're all acknowledge the greatness of these two players, but at least nahimayin yung dalawa why these two players are so deserving of this award. And for that, we thank you, the Trigger Man, Coach Allan Caidic, and of course, Coach Topex Robinson. Maraming salamat, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
This has been The Score. I'm Miko Halili. You can also watch The Score on the iWant app for free. And we're leaving now with a book launch of the late, great Ron Nathaniels and a feature on the Anika Cup. We'll see you all again tomorrow.
They call themselves the Bora Boys, and they are the men behind the 3rd Anika Memorial Cup, a charity event in memory of Anika Tan. 17 avid golfers merged together to help raise awareness on arteriovenous malformation, the condition that claimed the life of Anika, daughter of Bora Boy Renault, 3 years ago.
Bora Boys is a group of avid golfers who are members of Forest Hills Golf Club. Actually, it's a private group. We're 17 golfers between the ages of 38 to 55.
The donation we get from the Anika Cup, that is dedicated to providing aneurysm clips for our indigent patients in the neuroscience department in PGH who would otherwise have died if they did not get the clip.
144 participants came to support the cause.
Well, medyo mainit, but you know, all in all, it has been positive. So everybody was playing happy. 18 hosts, but there are some hosts na nahirapan. Basta may bangin na mahirap.
Thank you very much.
Meantime, here's the list of winners in the third Anika Cup.
And our champion for the
World rated. Next step is a world title fight. Let's see. They need to perform impressively today. Then they get a world title shot.
My reflections on 50 years in the Philippines. This book is the last gift of late sports media personality Ronnie Nathaniels to the Filipino people.
Ronnie is very happy about this day.
2 years after his death, family, friends, and sports personalities gathered to honor Ronnie and launch his book, which he worked on for 7 years before he passed.
It was an emotional journey. I was going through Dad's scrapbooks and files, and I would always cry because I was very close to my dad, and I wanted this book to be really good for him. He wasn't able to finish it, so we had to fill some gaps. But in the end, we came up with a good one, I think.
Yeah. Nathaniel started his career in sports in 1965. He wrote sports columns for the Manila Standard and the Philippine Daily Inquirer, and was a fixture in radio sports shows. He was born in Sri Lanka and was granted Filipino citizenship in 1973. He got his big break in 1975 as he was appointed liaison officer for the fight between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, dubbed the Thriller in Manila.
He was the greatest Filipino fighter of all time.
From then on, providing analysis in boxing was his bread and butter. In the 1980s and 90s, he became an analyst for the PBA. He followed the legendary careers of Sonny Jaworski, Freddie Webb, Tim Cohn, and Norman Black.
Well, I've known Ronnie for a long time, and I met him the first year I arrived in the Philippines in 1981. We became good friends over the years. I mean, he just constantly talked to you. He would always call you and talk to you about the games and his impression of what was going on. And Ronnie was very straightforward. The only times that I really had maybe differences with Ronnie is when we played Ginebra. We played against Sonny Jaworski because he just loved Sonny Jaworski to death, and he was a good friend. I thought he was a great promoter of sports here in the Philippines, particularly boxing, billiards, and basketball.
I've known him for 30 years, and he was a huge influence on my life and obviously a huge influence on my career. I think that everybody should read it. I think that it will impact people's lives because he had such an interesting life. And it's going to be an interesting book because his life was so incredibly.
And as Senator Manny Pacquiao rose to fame in the boxing world, Nathaniels was one of the first to call the Pac-Man a national treasure. Pacquiao first met Ronnie in 1995, and he used to feature Manny's fights on Blow by Blow. He then became a go-to pundit by TV and radio shows whenever Pacquiao or any Filipino boxer was up for a major bout. To those close to him, Ronnie will always be remembered for his professionalism and for speaking his mind freely.
I'm just so happy that a lot of people came and we honored Dad on this day, even though he's gone, and a lot of people still remembered him. He shared so many fun and beautiful memories with people. I'm just so delighted, and I hope that everyone will enjoy this book.